Hello, and welcome to a community collaboration that is about to change lives. My name is Molly, and I used to teach velocity banking. Now I facilitate change through velocity banking. By downloading the digital content I have for you today, you've joined hands with a community dedicated to helping people just like you embark on the journey to financial freedom. Remember, you don't have to contribute any money for this content, but this download that I'm offering to you today allows you to choose a price. All you have to do is enter the dollar amount you wish to gift, and the funds collected will be used to gift the subject of the case study, staying within the amount of her total debt, which is disclosed in the file, and up to the allowable limits of IRS tax laws on gifts. So let's dive in. Our first client as a community collaboration is 26 years old. She lives in Nashville. She shares an apartment with a friend who lost her employment and housing a while back, so she moved in with her. There are two children in the household, a dog in the household. The friend contributes the groceries and shares in the rent and utilities. So when you see in her uh, variable expenses that there are no groceries, the friend gets that. She works at an assisted living facility, and right now she's getting approximately 46 hours a week. So they cut her how many hours she was getting, which was a loss of about $274 a month from that cut in her hours. Her take home is biweekly. So every 2 weeks on the 8th and the 22nd of the month, she's bringing in $1,400. Now, I want you to understand this young woman is stressed to the max. Okay. She works a very challenging schedule. She works 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. Then, when she gets off work, her friend goes to her place of employment, picks her up. She then, in turn, takes her friend to her job. Then she drops off her friend's eldest daughter at school. Then she goes back to the house and takes care of the toddler until she has to go pick up the eldest daughter, pick her friend back up at work, and then show up to work herself. So you might be asking, when is this woman sleeping? She isn't. She is at her wit's end. She is not getting any sleep, and things are bad. Okay, so her financial challenges: credit card debt. When her friend was out of work, she had to put stuff on her credit card. So the groceries she had to put on her credit card, the rent she had to put on her credit card. She is now maxed out. She's at 101% utilization on the one credit card that she has. She said that she is feeling overwhelmed, like she's drowning. Her car insurance premiums, if you look on her month at a glance in a little bit, you'll see that it's high. And that is because she had a couple of car accidents in her early 20s. And again, she's 26, so I'm sure she's not getting much of a break on the premiums. Her credit score, she sent me a snapshot of her credit score a few months ago, about 3 months ago, and she was doing all right. It was like 680. And then just like a series of events has been happening with the cutback in the pay and with the friend, not having the work. And it took a nosedive, y'all. She went from a 680 to 559 in a matter of 3 months. So her credit score dropped about 120 points. So that's very significant. Student loans showed up on her credit report unexpectedly. She had moved to accommodate this friend and her two children. So she had moved and she was not aware that the grace period had ended. So now she's got these student loans showing up on her credit report as missed payments. She had a collection report for a dental bill that she just couldn't pay during this time of her friend's unemployment. Car maintenance. She said that she has $1,100 that she needs done on her car that is transporting not only her, but her friend and two children. And she can't afford to get the car maintained and get it worked on. She needed new tires. She had to go to a used car tire place, and now her car is misaligned and won't go over 60 miles an hour. And if you've ever been through Nashville, you need to be a little bit faster than 60 miles an hour. So that is her financial situation, and you can see her entire everything that's due is written out in that downloadable content. So let's take a look at her month at a glance. So let me grab my notes here because I can't see everything. Where are my notes? Come on. Okay, month at a glance. So this is what she's currently doing in the before column. That's what she's currently doing. I asked her what can be put on a credit card. She said nothing because I'm maxed out. Well, we know that a way to get around that. So her rent, her electricity, her car insurance, and her phone, those can all go on a credit card once we figure out a plan for her. So let's see. Her income is $2,800 a month. Okay, so that's two checks. It's biweekly, the 8th and the 22nd. She's getting $1,400. So for the total month, it comes in at $2,800. She calculated her expenses at $2,214, which means she had a subtotal of $586. Then she put down that her variables are $180. Y'all, she put $130 for gas and $50 for her dog. There's no mention of groceries in there because the friend is picking those up. But I'm going to circle back to that variable budget because I'm sure those of you who have been with me for a while know there is some stuff missing there. Okay, so that leaves her after her variables, she's got $406 in cash flow on paper. Okay. But if you take a look at her installment debt on her credit worksheet, those 3 student loans are not addressed in her month at a glance. That's $93. That's $93 that she's got to pay, right? Unless there's some situation. I'm not familiar with student loans, you guys. I don't know how that works. So this would be great if y'all have anything you can contribute on information regarding student loans. So I just was like, okay, well, let's assume that she's got to pay it. So we'll take out the $93. Now she's down to $313. And then I noticed on her credit worksheet that it says $458 for the car loan, but under her month at a glance, it's $440. That's a difference of $18. So I don't know what the true number is. That's something she's going to have to determine, but I'm going to err on the side of caution and subtract that $18 from there. And that brings her down to, on paper, cash flow of $295. So what that means is I know she had mentioned to me that she has been late on the credit card twice. She's late on the credit card. Their electricity is behind. She is missing money, you guys. And so that $295 that is allegedly on paper cash flow, that means we have missing $73.25 a week or $146.50 a paycheck that's missing and unaccounted for. And what I suspect is that when she wrote down her expenses, like she hasn't gone through and looked at her actual bank statements. Okay. So she probably has it in her head. This is what I spend. This is what I can spend. But she hasn't looked at her actual pattern of behavior, because if there are children in that house, a 2-year-old, there had to be at some point where someone had to go to Walmart and get some diapers and some wipes. I mean, you know it. You know it. So there are some trips to Walmart, I'm assuming, are missing. And so my suggestion to her right off the bat, as we continue to go through this, is go through your bank statements. Okay. Don't worry about your credit card statement right now because it's maxed, but go through your bank statements and see where is this money going, because you got money missing. Now, if we go back up and look at her credit card, that's $229 a month. Y'all, that's 0%. She's got 0% right now until May. So once May hits, that grace period is gone. That promotion is gone. And also, it's written down that the credit card closes on the 18th. It actually closes on the 22nd. So again, community, if you could write down, post, why is it important to know your actual close date? That's super, super important. If you could put that in the comments, why it's important to know your actual billing cycle close date in terms of paying off your debt. Now, if I don't know what the amount is going to be, but I would imagine that interest rate is going to be super high. But just to be conservative, I put 29.99. So that means when that goes away, that promotional period, it's going to be a little over $1,500 she's going to have to pay annually because of that interest. That's the minimum. All right. So that's an additional $125 that she's going to have to come up with. So that credit card payment goes from $229 to approximately $354, and it could be, higher than that depending on what her interest rate is. So she's in a position here where she cannot afford to fix her car. She cannot afford for that credit card interest to hit. She needs a leg up, you guys. So what I'm asking you to do now is go to the link, download her case study, and let's start talking about it. And if you feel so led to help her out, I got chills. If you feel so led, please do so. Okay? This is not a handout. This is a hand up. We are trying to educate each other in various aspects so that we can all get ahead. Okay? We can all get out of this hole. We can teach our kids so they aren't going through this. I mean, this is ridiculous. We weren't taught it, and now our kids weren't taught it. So let's change the narrative. That's all I have for you guys today. Thanks for listening.